Everyone, this is Aaron, and today we're going to review the LG Vortex. The LG Vortex, as you can see, is a pretty decent looking phone and is basically considered a budget phone on Verizon. The phone has been anywhere from I believe $30 to $50 to free, depending where you are and what deal you got. It's really not a bad phone for the money, and definitely could be recommended. But let's talk about the phone itself. So the phone outside, as you can see, is your standard candy bar layout. You have a screen that's a little bit small for an Android phone, but is not bad for a budget phone. So it's 320 by 480 pixels and a 3.2-inch screen, capacitive touch screen. It supports multi-touch, and it's pretty nice. So while we're talking about the outside, let's go ahead and turn the phone on, and we do that with the button on top here. Now you can see it powered on. We have our 3.5mm headphone jack on this side. We have a micro SD card slot that's expandable. It comes with a stock 2GB SD card, micro SD, and a built-in 150 megabytes of storage. On the front we have our normal buttons, menu, home, back, search. On this side we have our volume up, down. On the back we have a 3.2 megapixel camera that actually is good for video or picture taking, but only supports 640 by 480 recording or 320 by 240 QVGA recording. So there's no HD here. It does have your autofocus and macro modes and things like that, but it doesn't support HD recording at this time. Although it could be done with a future update, I suppose, but I think they would have done that out of the box. Anyway, you've got your speaker here, and on the bottom you have a micro USB port, and you have your microphone next to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interface. We'll turn it on, and it's a pretty nice interface, pretty standard. This is running Froyo or Android 2.2, and slide to unlock or slide to put it into vibrate mode. So there you can see the stock interface. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little bit closer. There we go. So here's the interface itself. Again, you can see on the bottom you have your standard dialer, contacts, messaging, and web browser. And because this is Froyo, we do have Flash built into the browser, which is really nice. For some reason they decided to go with Bing, and this interface is fairly similar to the Samsung. You have your email, market, and voicemail. Let's swipe to the side. I don't know who that number is, so Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, clock. These are all standard. I haven't played around, moved them around at all as far as that goes, although you can. Bing Maps, music, you know, your standard stuff here, and you have some extra room for whatever you'd like. Very chilly here, by the way. There we go. We slide down, and we have our normal, kind of what's becoming standard across the top. We have volume, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, so on. So let's go ahead and slide that up. You can see it's kind of doing some funky things. Well, let me slide it up. And that might just be the sensitivity of the touchscreen. I believe this is plastic, and that may have something to do with it, some static or something. Let's go ahead and open the app drawer. And as you can see, here's the applications. Scrolls up and down. It actually is a pretty fast phone, but we're only working on a 600 megahertz processor here. So I guess for an overall idea, what I would say is this phone is basically like a really good last generation phone that's become a budget smartphone this year. So not a bad deal, really. So as you can see, here's the apps. These are kind of standard apps that come with it. And let's go ahead and show you the browser. So we'll go ahead and go to zollotech, and this has swipe on it, although I can't use it for my site. And I mistyped already. Small keyboard for me, but probably fine for most people. Responsiveness is very good on this phone, and I think for a budget phone, there are a couple others out there that I'll be reviewing, but I think so far this is my favorite. Battery life is pretty good. It's supposedly 7.5 hours or almost 8 hours talk time, 500 hours standby, a 1500 milliamp battery, which is really great in this size device. It'll get you through a day without a problem. We'll scroll. You can see it's a little bit choppy. It speeds up as it loads, but not bad. I mean, for 600 megahertz, it's about expected. And we can zoom back down. You can see it's fairly slow, but this is my website. There we go. We'll go back. And okay, we'll go home. I didn't need to do that. So I think overall you get the idea with Android. If you've seen any other Android phones, it does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, like we mentioned, accelerometer, just the standard things that you would expect with a phone. Now, overall durability of the phone I think is pretty good. The back does come off if you want to. I can show you that, but that's just the battery. You can actually access your SD card here with a nice metal rim around the outside, and we talked about design before, but we pop the back off, and there you can see there's your battery. And let me zoom back out. There's your battery. There's your, these are some pieces of tape I didn't even take off, but don't really need to. To give you an idea, next to another phone, here is the Fascinate. So give you an idea size-wise, it is a little bit smaller than the Fascinate, or than the Fascinates and Droids and things like that. Not bad, but the screen is definitely noticeably smaller. I think overall for a budget phone this is quite a nice buy, and definitely would recommend you check it out. But like I said, it's lacking on the camera part a little bit and is lacking on the speed a little bit. But I think for the person that wants a fairly inexpensive phone that can surf the web, can do voicemail and text very good, has swipe, this is probably a good buy and definitely worth checking out. Please feel free to comment and subscribe, and feel free to ask any questions, as I'd like to answer those for you if you had anything else. I didn't really want to cover a ton of things just because it is Android, and wanted to give you my impressions of it. I think overall it's a great phone for the price. A little bit slow compared to the nicer ones today, but quite a good deal, and it's pretty responsive. It just slows down when you get to more heavy multimedia tasks. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.